Here's the thing. If you've been sitting on the sidelines in Metro Detroit waiting for the mortgage rates to drop, you might think you're making the smart move. You're not actually waiting to buy or sell a home because you love waiting. You're waiting because you think mortgage rates dropping will finally make things easier. And that sounds logical. Lower rate, lower payment, better deal. But what most people don't realize is that when mortgage rates drop, the market doesn't slow down. It speeds up. And today I want to talk about what really happens when rates come down, who actually benefits first, and why waiting without a plan can quietly work against you. We've been in a higher rate environment for a while now, and that's changed buyer behavior. A lot of people have hit pause, some decided to wait, others adjusted their expectation and moved forward anyway. And historically, when rates start to come down, even a little, something important happens. It's just not that more buyers enter the market, it's that urgency comes back. Suddenly, the people who are just watching start to feel like they need to act before everyone else does. And that shift is what changes the market. Here's what usually happens next. When mortgage rates drop, buyer demand increases, often quickly. Buyers who were sitting on the sidelines re-enter the market at the same time. And here's what most people don't think about. They're not all looking at different homes. They're usually looking at the same ones. And that's when competition starts to build again. Yes, lower rates can mean better monthly payments, but when demand increases faster than inventory, prices tend to respond. So buyers don't always end up with the deal they were expecting. What often happens instead of that market shift from calm to competitive, homes start moving faster. Multiple offers come back into the conversation, and buyers who weren't prepared start to feel rushed. That's usually the moment people say, wow, this feels different than a couple months ago. Now, let's talk about who actually benefits first when rates drop, because that's the important part. Buyers who benefit first usually are not the ones waiting for the perfect rate. They're the buyers who are already understanding their numbers, who are comfortable in today's prices, and who aren't relying on perfect timing to make the move. They can act before competition peaks. They're not scrambling, and they're not chasing homes emotionally. They're making decisions intentionally. Sellers can benefit early too, sometimes more than they realize. Sellers who list before the rush often face less competition from other listings. Their homes stand out more, buyer interest is strong, but inventory hasn't flooded the market yet. And that's a combination can create real negotiating leverage. What tends to happen later is that once rates drop and buyer activity becomes obvious, more sellers decide to list. And while it can be a good thing overall, it also means more competition for attention. That's why early movers, both buyers and sellers, often have an advantage. This is also where I want to talk about waiting, because I hear this all the time. I'll buy when the rates drop, I'll sell when the market improves. And waiting isn't wrong, but waiting without strategy usually is. By the time the market shift feels obvious, the advantage is already shrinking. Waiting often means more competition, faster decisions, higher prices, and more emotional stress. But the biggest opportunity doesn't come when rates drop. It comes before they do. That's when you have more time, more options, and more leverage, and more control over your decisions, whether you're buying or selling. So, if mortgage rates do come down, and history tells us that at some point they will, the real question isn't if it happens, it's what you should do before it does. Because the people who are prepared ahead of time are the ones who actually benefit from the market shifts. In my next video, I'm going to walk through exactly what buyers and sellers should be doing right now before the rates change, so you're not scrambling later. So if you have any questions about your specific situation, feel free to reach out to me. You can visit my website, leslieemartin.com, or find me on Instagram at leslieemartindtw. I'm Leslie Martin. I look forward to helping you make your next move.